lovely ladies. Welcome or welcome back to the Confidence Club. This is our exclusive membership where we get to deep dive into the topics of manifestation on a level that you have maybe never reached before. Today's topic is going to be about priming yourself for manifestation. And while I do talk about this on my main channel, on my free channel, today's video is going to be very informative, and I'm going to go into all these really rich details as to why priming yourself for your manifestations is such a good method or technique in order to help you manifest faster, manifest easier, and really enjoy the process. So without further ado, let's get started. Manifestation is something that we're always doing. So we have to recognize that. And what I mean by priming ourselves for manifestation is feeling confident in our ability to manifest, as well as convincing ourselves that manifesting this specific thing is easy. So one example in my life I have is that manifesting specific people into my life has been very easy. I've always had an easy time getting into relationships. And for those of you who don't know yet, I'm a revert. So anytime I talk about relationships, that is not how I live my life anymore, if that ever pops up. However, before reverting, I was just young and naive and I kind of rushed into things. But I believe because I was so young when I started to get into romantic partnerships, I didn't have much resistance to it. And I suppose after I had gotten to a certain age, I just had the belief that people get into relationships easily. It was more my beliefs about how relationships go and the quality of relationships that I could have that I needed to upgrade. But if you are someone who is watching this and you'd like to manifest a relationship, but you're finding it hard to even get into a relationship to begin with, it's likely because you're holding the assumption that it's difficult to get into a relationship, or that there aren't any good people for you to be in a relationship with, or you don't yet know what you want, or whatever it is. So first and foremost, no matter what it is you're manifesting, if you're manifesting a relationship, a job, a raise, more money, material things, cars and electronics, or a house or a vacation, whatever it is that you are desiring, we prime ourselves for this by, number one, first and foremost, saying manifestation is easy for me. I'm really good at manifesting. I'm always manifesting. It is not stressful for me to manifest. I always get what I want. I always get what I believe. And just knowing your power of manifestation. Knowing that we're always doing this. It doesn't stop. So whether it is a good or bad circumstance or a good or bad outcome, know that you created that with your beliefs about yourself, your beliefs about the world, and your beliefs about what you get to experience in the world and how you relate to the world. So if you want to be better at manifesting, you can start to say, if you're feeling that doubt of oh, I don't know, I feel like I'm really bad at this. I feel like I'm always messing it up. First of all, we want to stop telling those stories. But the next thing we want to do on top of that is affirm that you are at least getting better. I'm getting better at manifesting consciously every day. I'm becoming more aware of my thoughts every day. I'm becoming more aware of my self-sabotage and negative habits every day. That way, if saying I already am good at manifesting feels like a lie to you, it feels like you're gaslighting yourself, it feels like you're being disingenuous with yourself, you don't have to force it. Manifestation is not about forcing anything, so we really want to make sure that we are not pressuring ourselves to get really good at this, but we're giving ourselves the opportunity to get better at it. So again, you can affirm, I'm getting better at manifestation every day. Manifestation becomes easier and easier for me every time I do it consciously. That is one way to prime yourself. And then what you'll do is start to affirm, it's so easy for me to manifest this specific thing. So you can start saying, it's really easy for me to manifest money. Even if you're only manifesting small amounts of money and it's only easy for you to manifest something like $5, if that's easy for you, good. That's something you can build up over time. But we want to focus on the most positive story we can tell ourselves in the now moment. So maybe you are not yet good at manifesting millions, but you can suggest to yourself, if this is true for you now, I'm really good at manifesting enough money to pay my bills. And some of you watching, like, that's going to even feel a little bit tense. You know, obviously this is a premium subscription, and so you found a way to afford this. That is one reason or one permission slip for you to give yourself the excuse to feel good about where you're at financially. We can look for all of these ways in our environment as well, like using experiences as excuses to keep going, using these experiences as like giving ourselves permission to have faith and believe that we really are manifesting this positive outcome. So manifesting in steps is another thing that I recommend. So if you're priming yourself for manifestation, you don't want to prime yourself and then jump into this really big manifestation goal. If you are watching this video about priming yourself, you likely are lacking confidence in your ability to manifest, and therefore saying that you make over $1 million in a year is gonna be a really big stretch. Saying that you're already married to your specific person might feel like a really big stretch. Saying that you are in perfect health when your 3D is showing you that you're really not, it might feel impossible. And what happens is, as human beings, if our goals feel too out of reach, we often won't even attempt them. If it feels too impossible, our brains won't allow us to even put any effort towards it because it feels futile. It feels hopeless. It feels like we're just never gonna reach that. And so why try? Why even start if we can't finish? So if that's where you're at mentally, know that about yourself. Become aware of that and go, okay, that's an assumption of mine. That's a thought. That's where I am at right now. Sorry, a little tongue-tied there. And accept that that's where you're at in your journey. We're all at a different point, and that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with being where you're at in your manifestation ability. And there's nothing wrong with saying that goal feels too big for me right now. Like, I admit that to myself all the time. And so if $1 million in a year feels too big, cut it in half. And if that still feels too big, cut it in half again. And go down to the one, not that you already know, okay? Like, I already know it's easy for me to manifest specific people. I already know that it's easy for me to have my expenses covered. I already know that when I go shopping, I always find the best deals. I already know those things. So I've already manifested proof that those things are true. I already assumed them. Those are my dominant assumptions. Now, if I wanted to say, I make X amount of money and that feels like a squeeze, I'm gonna make sure it feels like a squeeze, but it feels realistic still. I'm gonna say, okay, if doubling my income feels too tight in my body, and your body will tell you how confident you are in your manifestation, right? So you might feel some fear, you might feel some nervousness, you might have some doubt, but the size of the fear, the size of the doubt will tell you whether it's a good idea to pursue right now or not. And just because you don't pursue it right now, just because you're not affirming for it right now, does not mean that that can't change overnight. Again, with priming ourselves for manifestation, I'm making this video after I've completed the 30-day challenge that is on my free channel. And one of my affirmations in that 30-day challenge was, I'm an expert at manifestation. And I swear to you, over that 30-day period, all this beautiful evidence was showing up. I was quite literally finding the best deals at the places that I shop. You know, I was having these stressful circumstances, but because I was manifesting that I'm a healthy person and that I'm good at manifesting, I was able to get myself out of those stressful circumstances. If I found myself in a low mood, I was able to, like that, put myself in a better mood, which historically, the old story, the old version of me, she wasn't very good at that. And this is all because included in my manifestations, I was saying to myself at least once a day, every day, that I'm an expert at this. I'm good at this. So again, you want to start by deciding that you're good at manifesting or you're becoming good at it. And then you want to reach for tangible goals. So if manifesting a random $1,000 sounds too heavy for you, start with a random $5 or a random $100. Just say, you know what, I'm receiving $100. Like I'm manifesting $100 to come in the next week. And if in the next week it doesn't come, because sometimes that happens, sometimes we think it feels reasonable, but there are subconscious doubts, subconscious limitations, subconscious fears that will block us and get in the way. And so if after 1 week, whatever it is you're manifesting, that's going to be your homework for this video, is set the intention that in the next 7 days you're going to manifest something that is, it feels kind of small, but a little bit out of your reach, a little bit out of your comfort zone. And for the next 7 days, what you'll do is at least once a day affirm that you are really great at manifesting, that it's just come so naturally to you, that it's really easy for you to manifest. And so if in a week from now, that manifestation hasn't come about, I want you to sit in meditation and ask yourself why. Ask yourself, why do I believe that this manifestation did not come to me? And whatever the answer is, you're going to face that. If the answer is because I did something wrong, face that. If the answer is because I wasn't affirming enough, face that. If the answer is because I was too stressed out to focus on my desire, face that. And of course, each of those situations and beliefs are going to require you to do different work. They're going to require you to respond differently to those beliefs. But when I say face it, I mean accept it. Accept that, you didn't reach the goal that you set out for yourself because you have this belief. And there's nothing wrong with having that belief. However, you are acknowledging that that belief is the reason why. You're giving it the reason why. One thing I've been going through in my life recently is I've been struggling to get a day job. I know that the reason I've been struggling to get a day job is one of my assumptions is I don't like the jobs that are out there available to me. Either because I don't like how much they pay, I don't like the hours, I don't like the responsibilities. It feels like more work than it's worth. Those are all assumptions, right? And I'm facing those assumptions. So since I do still have a goal of having a day job to reach my financial goals, at least in the next 3 months, as we're ending 2024, I am telling myself, you know what? Actually, there's a perfect job out there for me. Actually, when I do find the perfect job, I'm gonna get it and it's not gonna be stressful. Actually, there is a job that pays exactly what I'm looking for. Actually, there's a job out there that'll be fun for me where I get to use my skills that I've already developed. And in fact, I can choose to believe and assume that when I get this new job, it's gonna make me better in business. It's going to give me more content ideas. It's going to inspire me to show up for people in the Confidence Club membership, right? In my business, on my regular channel, in my one-to-one coaching email sessions. Like, I get to choose that. And so all of this priming, we're priming ourselves. We are getting ourselves ready. We're getting ourselves inspired and motivated so that when we do start to manifest those little manifestations, we feel that momentum building and we go, oh my gosh, I'm actually good at this. Oh my gosh, that was actually easier than I had originally thought. And that's the whole point of this, is priming yourself for manifestation is meant to do 2 things. It's meant to affirm your belief that manifestation is real and it works and it's working all the time and it's happening whether you like it or not. It's just like the fact that we breathe air. Whether you like it or not, we as human beings, we have to breathe air, whether you want to or not. In order to be alive on this planet, you have to breathe air. So either you get really good at breathing air or you suffer being not good at breathing air, right? Either you get really good at moving your body and your body is healthy and it supports you, or you don't take care of your body and it's unhealthy and it doesn't support you. So manifestation in itself, it's like a muscle. It involves faith, and faith is a muscle, not a physical muscle, of course, but it's a intellectual muscle that we use. It's a spiritual muscle that we use. So that's the number one thing, is we are building confidence in our ability to manifest. That manifestation is always working, and it's always at play, right? So we have faith that the law is working. It is in effect. Then the next thing we're doing is we're choosing to believe it's easy. We are choosing to believe that we don't have to work hard to manifest. We're choosing to believe that if we have self-discipline and we exercise that, if we exercise discipline and we exercise our faith muscle, manifestation is easy for us. And so those two things are how you want to prime yourself. And whenever you start to feel discouraged, whenever you start to see the opposite of that being true, revise it on the spot. Come back to that place of, you know what? I don't care what the world around me looks like. I don't care what the 3D circumstances are telling me. I'm choosing to believe right here, right now, that manifestation is always working for me and that it's easy for me. And so now that you understand priming and you know what your homework is, I want you to really, really sit with this lesson and understand, above all else, this is about your choice. This is your decision. If you want to be good at manifesting, all you have to do is assume that you already are. So thank you so much for being in the Confidence Club. Thank you for showing up to these videos, and I intend that every video on my regular channel and in our premium membership is informative and soul-changing and life-altering, so that you get to become your most confident and successful self. Thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.